everybody, welcome back to another video, the T on MPD and relationships. Hello y'all. Hello everyone. Happy Friday. Yes indeed. Hello everyone. Thank you for coming back and watching another video. Y'all know, listen, y'all know I'm always thanking you for coming back and watching another video, and also encouraging you to please visit us on the Thursday night live stream. Listen, y'all don't want to miss it. And then also make sure your notification bell is on, because if we change schedule, or if we do the live stream on a different day, want you to be able to get the notifications. Okay, so 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the live streams on Thursday nights, or whatever night we choose. Usually it's on Thursday nights. Okay. All right. So I'd love to see you there, y'all. And y'all know every time I drop a video on the channel, the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. Y'all know if you rocks with your girl, y'all hit that like button, Y'all hit that like button one time for the one time, for the 2 times for your girl. All right. All right, y'all. Let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to get into it, y'all. I want to get into it. So that narcissist, it seems that they can predict a whole lot of stuff, in the manipulationship, because it's not a relationship. Some people call it a transactionship. I just happened upon that word a little while ago, the manipulationship, because that's all it is manipulation. Relationships with narcissists are very transactional. No depth and no substance, really on their behalf in the relationship. But yeah, they seem to predict a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes y'all thought they were probably psychic, or, they just something was going on weird because they knew stuff they shouldn't have known. But yeah, they seem to predict a whole lot in the relationship, except you leaving them. What happened with that? What had happened was, y'all, I want to talk about this because, the narcissist does everything in the relationship based upon their predictions of what has happened in the past with previous relationships until they ran up on you. Okay? Yes, you. The one that is probably looking at this video saying, yep, sure did leave that clown. Yep, sure didn't predict that. Now look at him. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So whenever they plan to, secure a new supply like yourself, they know that there's going to be a beginning to the relationship. They know they're going to throw you a few curveballs, more than a few. They know they're going to take you through more than a few of those cycles of love bomb, devalue, discard, all the future faking, and the bells and whistles to go along with it. And ample amount of gaslighting. Yes, honey, this is what they do. But in all of that, the narcissist, I tell you all the time, narcissists don't have the ability of foresight. This is why they make some of the dumbest mistakes. They do some of the dumbest, most stupid things. And then they sit back and wonder, how did that happen? Yeah, you idiot. When you do people like this, and when you do horrible things, say horrible things to people, they're not going to just keep hanging around. But based upon the crap test that they ran on us, okay, in the beginning, when they was doing all of that crazy stuff, and we just kind of overlooked it. We knew it was a red flag. We knew that something was going on. I mean, it should have been definitely a caution, and not caution to the wind. We should have been watching. But a lot of those crap tests that they run in the beginning, this is how they predict how long to keep you in the love bomb, how long it's going to take for them to devalue, and then the discard. And along with the crap tests that they run in the beginning, they also run empathy tests. They'll tell you one of the saddest stories, which is probably a lie, or it could be a truth mixed with lie, which is still a lie, technically. So they'll test your empathy on that to see how you respond to it, what you have to say about it, all of those different things, right? And so based upon that, this is how they make their predictions of what you're going to do or how the relationship is going to go. Also, based upon these predictions, this is also how they start or they ignite the smear campaign with the family. Because if y'all noticed, when y'all hit the devaluation stage, based upon their predictions in the relationship or the manipulationship, this is how they fed information to the family. And a lot of y'all seen the family just turn on you all of a sudden, like, wait, what just happened here? Now the mother don't want really anything to do with you. The sisters is all looking at you crazy. The aunties and the cousins and everybody else is looking at you crazy. You trying to figure like, what happened? Like, what just switched and tripped and flipped upside down and I didn't get notified about it? Yeah, that part. So the narcissists, they basically plan and predict all of these things and how they're going to go about it. But I bet you they didn't predict you leaving. Now look at them. See, what they didn't do was they didn't do all of the homework. That's what they didn't do. They didn't do all of their homework, and they didn't figure that, okay, this person might not be as green as I think they are. This person might not actually take all the crap that I'm dishing out right now. This person may not actually stand for that. So maybe I may just need to back up. No. See, a narcissist doesn't play those. They don't play by the rules, period. Okay? Now that you basically surprised them with the fact of either the narcissist left and got a new supply, and you told that bird, stay right on over there with that crow, because you won't be coming back here. Or you yourself just gave them like, you know what? I don't care where you go. I don't care what you do on car. Okay? Not I don't care. On car. Get real southern with it. On car. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you do. It does not matter. You got to go, bro. You got to go. Or ma'am. Listen. The narcissist did not plan for that. They did not. And so now what you're left with, now that you have gone ahead and you did that thing. You got them on up out of there, or you made the bird stay over there in the tree with that other crow. A pigeon and a crow in a tree. Lord have mercy. With the backwards flying pigeon with the feathers missing. Think about them two birds perching on a branch. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's a sight to see, ain't it? Honey, yes. Okay, bird with the feathers missing and a crow sitting up there looking crazy. This is what you get. You see what I'm saying? And so now that smear campaign that they started running with the family, because now you basically have forced them. Now they got to change the narrative. And this is what they did not predict, is having to change the narrative. Especially if you got rid of them or you let them go and you would not allow them to come back, and you basically have shut that door, closed it, locked it up, cemented it, bolted it, and you are never anticipating letting that bird come back, and you start healing and moving forward, baby, you just jacked up the narcissist's whole game. You just jacked up their whole game, because the prediction is that you were going to stay in place and take the abuse and take all of the manipulation and all of everything that they was dishing out until they got ready to leave you alone and never come back, or to continue to shelf you over and over. But baby, when you flip the script on them like this, they don't have an answer for this. Okay? They didn't predict this. And not only that, now what you're forcing them to do is you're forcing them to go do damage control. And that's what they don't like. This is why I tell y'all, whenever you do this, if they leave and you won't let them come back, or if you leave them first, don't you ever take that narcissist back, because the fact that they got to change the narrative with the family and all of the flying monkeys, and now you gonna force them to go do damage control, baby. If you ever let that backwards walking giraffe get back in your life, woo, baby, Let me tell you something. They gonna give it to you 5 ways from Friday. Because let me tell you, you made them go and work to protect their name, okay? To protect their severely flawed character. But to everybody else, they look like, oh, that's such a wonderful person. Oh, there's such this, there's such that. But you know what that bird is, okay? And the family do too. But to the rest of the world, you know, they have a life of duality. They think that the narcissist is just the kindest person ever, but they don't know that other side of them. But you have forced them to go and do damage control to protect their image. Listen here. I bet you they didn't predict that either, did they? In the words of Bishop Kathy, she said, bet you didn't predict that? Okay. Okay. So here's what I want to tell you. In the scope of it all, whenever you get ready to leave and the narcissist has not planned for this, and they think that they got this all wrapped up and sewed up, and baby, you changed the trajectory on their prediction, honey, watch them crows flap and flounder like a fish out of water. And a lot of times what y'all gonna see is this narcissist is gonna try to fly back. I mean, real quick, sometimes acting like nothing ever happened, because they were not ready for what you dished out to them. They didn't predict that. It wasn't part of the plan, right? So this is where you really sit back and you begin to say, you know what I'm saying? That's where you sit back and you do that, okay? Because at this point, you have the upper hand, okay? At this point, that bird is literally trying to get back into your bed and your head because of all of the work that you're forcing them to do on the back end. Baby, let that crow stay over there. Let that pigeon stay right on over there where they are. Because guess what? If they wanted to be treated better, or if they wanted to be given the decency or the dignity of having a closure conversation, they should have behaved better. They weren't going to give you no closure, so what you owe them something for? You don't. So, bet they didn't predict that either. Okay? So, yeah, now look at them. Look at them over there trying to do damage control and everything. Let them stay right on over there with them clan of crows that they came from and whatever else they got going on. All right? So, family, listen, y'all take really good care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves, okay? And I will see you all on the next video. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.